This episode of Proper English is brought to you by the words comfortable and convenient and the idiom the last straw.
Hello, my name's Alison.
And I'm Dave.
And we'd like to welcome you to the 13th episode of our podcast, which as you know is called
Proper English. If you're learning English and you want to know the correct word to use in a particular situation,
if you get stuck thinking of the right preposition,
if you're puzzled by definite and indefinite articles,
then Proper English is just the thing for you. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin.
That's from Listen with Mother, which used to be on the radio in the 1950s.
Before even you were born, Dave.
True. I only remember it because my mum used to say it to me when I was a nipper.
Hopefully this will help our listeners when it comes to the use of the word comfortable. Lots of our students get confused with comfortable and convenient, don't they, Dave?
They do, Ali. The two words seem quite different to us native English speakers, but I can see how they can cause confusion.
Let's start with comfort. Derivatives of comfort are comfy, comfortable, comfortably.
Are you sitting comfortably?
It's mostly to do with a feeling in the body and perhaps in the mind. A chair or item of clothing can be comfortable or uncomfortable, for example. So when it's comfortable, our body feels good and we can relax easily.
A situation can also be comfortable or uncomfortable. So if we're hanging out with people who we feel relaxed around, we can talk about how comfortable the situation was. A bit oddly though, we mostly seem to use it in the negative. So we might be in a hospital waiting room and we feel tense, and so does everybody else. And so the atmosphere is uncomfortable.
And now for an uncomfortable silence. We also use comfortable to describe a level of income. If you have a good standard of living, you are reasonably affluent, you can describe yourself as comfortably off. Similarly, it can describe something that is more than adequate. We can hint at luxury or a sense of space.
Yeah, so if someone asked us what our hotel room was like on holiday, we could say, oh, it was very comfortable, and the listener would know that we mean more than just the comfort of the bed, but also that it kind of impressed us in some way.
So convenient. I find students overuse this word. This is more about the ease of use of something and or its proximity.
How close it is.
So, for example, they're opening a new shop in the village, which will be convenient, meaning it is close by and therefore makes shopping easier.
Are they?
No, it's just an example. Sorry, Dave.
Oh. Or, if I make an appointment to see the dentist, I want a convenient time. So, a time that means I can get there easily and without too much effort.
So that's convenient then. So where does the problem lie, Dave?
Well, the way that I've heard comfortable misused is, for example, when a student tells me they got a flight at the perfect time and so it was very comfortable.
No, the timing is convenient, not comfortable.
Yeah.
The flight may well have been comfortable, comfy seats and so on.
Legroom.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. The timing was convenient.
And now it's time for Idiom of the Week.
Idiom of the week?
This week's idiom is the last straw, or the final straw. And you might also know the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's because all three sayings are related.
The last straw means the final thing that has pushed you to beyond your limit, often in terms of your patience or your emotions. Now, a straw is not a huge burden, but if a camel, for example, had to carry many straws, then eventually one more straw being added would be one too many, the one that finally broke its back.
I always thought it was a quote from the Old Testament of the Bible, but I think I might have been misled. Straw and camels get plenty of mentions, but not this specific use. The Oxford Dictionary of Quotations lists it as a mid-17th century proverb, but offers no supporting evidence, annoyingly. www.phrases.org.uk refers to the earliest citation being from an 1816 edition of the Edinburgh Advertiser.
Yes, rather surprisingly, it is in a comment about taxation of soap and how even a small amount would be the last straw that broke the camel's back for the lower orders, which is a rather old-fashioned term for the poor or working class. In 1816, being working class would have equated to being poor.
And even today, sadly, poverty still exists in the UK. Yeah. Class is complicated, more so now than in Victorian Britain, I reckon. And it's still noticeable in British culture. I suppose, it'd make a good subject for a podcast.
It would, except it is fraught with difficulties and subjectivity, isn't it?
Well, I suppose so.
So, returning to our idiom, let's give a modern-day example of its usage.
Okay, yeah. So, for example, I could say, the bus was late, so I was late for work and my boss was annoyed with me. Then there was an IT problem and I couldn't join the conference call I was supposed to attend. I went to make a coffee and spilt it on my shirt on the way out of the kitchen. And then at lunchtime I went to buy a sandwich and they only had brie and great ones left. Well, that was the last straw. I was so fed up, I went to the cafe next door and ordered sausage, egg and chips.
Oh, there goes the diet, Dave. Yes, so a series of annoying events and a quite trivial one, like the wrong kind of sandwich, can really just be the thing that ruins your day.
Oh, sausage, egg and chips, though. Now, as always, we've really enjoyed putting our podcast together for you.
We hope you've had fun listening in on our conversation. If you like what we're doing here, please tell everyone you know about us.
The more the merrier.
And don't be shy. Leave us a nice review and subscribe to us on Stitcher,
or YouTube,
or Podbean,
or Apple Podcasts,
or Castbox, or whichever podcasting platform you're using, so you never miss an episode. Or you can email us at properenglish,
or one word,
at sapo.pt if you have any suggestions for future podcasts.
And if you have any burning English grammar related questions, you can ask us on Instagram or Facebook and we'll do our best to answer.
So until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me too. And thank you for listening to Proper English.